Hey guys, welcome. This is Ian Foster here. We're having a bonus Q&A call that is open to members, anyone who's taken any of my paid programs in the last year, basically. Legal protection, tax law, the logic program, which is getting renamed to a nicer name next time it runs. But I'm glad you guys are here. I know you guys have been in some different programs or multiple programs of mine, and we can also see who else makes it on. This is being recorded, just so you guys know. So hopefully you feel comfortable asking questions and participating, whatever's comfortable for you guys. Angie is wonderful. We're here to meet my good friend, Angie King. So, I mean, you guys know, like me, I try to take all the legal and tax and all that hard, crazy, arcane stuff and break it down into simple bite-sized chunks that are understandable, show you cost-effective ways to do stuff in your business so that the law and taxes don't have to be scary. To show not only is it just a necessary thing that you have to deal with, but it's okay, we can make it interesting and easy so that it's something you want to deal with it well. And I think you guys have seen, I really try to, let my passion come through. I try to let my mission come through and how I really believe in what I'm doing. And I try to let that shine. And my good friend, Angie King, does that with a tech side of business. So, I mean, the legal stuff may seem easy to me because that's what I do, right? But the tech stuff can terrify me sometimes. And I know it can terrify other stuff too. I mean, like any of us, the stuff that's scary and intimidating is the stuff that we don't know. We're all an expert in something, but none of us are an expert in everything. And so that's why we turn to one another for help in the different subject matter. They call Angie King the tech angel, and she helps heart-centered business owners with the stress, the frustration, that overwhelm of dealing with technology. She has over 30 years experience, and she's taught thousands of people from all walks of life, all over the world, how they can easily use technology to further their mission in the world. I've noticed that Angie is just really able to gently guide and empower her clients to create those foundational business systems so that you can attract and serve your ideal clients and share your message with the world. She's living in her oceanside dream home in the north end of New South Wales, Australia, with her husband, her rabbit, her fish, her birds, and her beautiful vegetable gardens. I have not been able to visit Angie in Australia yet. We've met in person a number of times, got to hang out in San Diego and Hawaii, but hopefully next time one of the conferences can be in Australia someday when the world is not as crazy as it is right now. So Angie, welcome.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you. Yeah, I know the world is crazy. We've known each other now for a few years and have met in person a number of times, and it's just wonderful. Ian is just gorgeous. I just love Ian too. So, yeah, and I'm really happy if you could come and visit us over in sunny Australia. So that would be really cool.
That would be great. You're very sweet, Angie. Thank you so much. So, I mean, what gave you this passion for helping people with the tech side of business?
Sorry?
What gave you the passion for helping people with the technology side of their businesses?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. So I'll just tell you a little bit. My background is I actually studied IT or tech at uni and worked in that field. And after a while, I realized that my passion was people, not computer, not actually sitting in front of a computer working all the time. So I ended up migrating into more of the IT training. And at the time, so I did that, and that was what I did for my work for years. Anyway, on the side though, I had a little wellness business, and my husband and I, we would run workshops on all sorts of heart-centered things, helping people find their passions and helping them to love their lives and all those sort of things. And when we moved from Canberra, the capital city in Australia, to where we are now at the bottom end of the Gold Coast, I said that my husband, that's great, I'll just work our wellness business. We'll just get that up and running and that'll be really good, Anyway, so I started doing that, and that was fantastic. But you know what happened? I actually realized that my passion was IT. I was just missing teaching people IT. And it's not just IT, it's helping. Because I'd come from a corporate environment in a lot of cases and had a business too, but technology changed so fast, and all of a sudden you had to have all this stuff to get online. You had to have all these systems, and it was just, and I realized that, people around me were struggling. And it's like, this is my passion. One, I just love teaching tech. And my passion is to help other people to make a difference. And I can do that by helping them get their businesses online and to reduce all that stress that people have when they face technology. And it's like,
Yeah.
So, scary.
No,
So
I totally get it. And you get to be part of that kind of that ripple effect of good that people do in the world.
yeah, and
So, I
that's what I
mean,
love to do.
yeah, I mean, and I guess that kind of gets me right to it. Do I need to have all this, like, do I need to have all the expensive stuff in place, all the fancy software and the whole website build out and do I need to have that all in place, or can I just start helping people?
Yep, the answer is you can just start helping people. I take the having the systems in place. Like, I can't have a business until I have my perfect website. It's got to be all finished and it's got to be absolutely done. And you can start a business without a website. Facebook can be a substitute website. For example, you can sell products and services on Facebook. You can receive money for events that you run online on Facebook. You can get money for your products and services. You can tell all about you. Like, you can, sure, people have websites, but you don't have to have one to start. You don't have to. A lot of people nowadays are just having like a landing page, just a simple one page. And there's a lot of applications out there that will do that. You can do that, and they're free, and that's the other
Oh,
thing that people are like, I've got to have this fancy software and it costs so much money, and I can't get online because I have to earn money first because I can't afford to pay for all this stuff. But natural fact, all the systems I teach are actually free. You don't have to have a lot of money to start, and as you grow and build, then you can get more of the paid versions, and you can, get better software and stuff like that.
what if you've got that syndrome like I do, where but I want it to look beautiful. I don't want to send people to the pages if they don't look, I want it to look gorgeous, right?
I
And so then I
understand.
spend weeks building out a single landing page.
And I get that too. I get that. But you know what? As our mentor actually said to us too, imperfect action is better than no action. You just got to do it. Just do it. And if it's not perfect, that's okay. Next time you'll tweak it and it will be a bit more perfect. And then a bit more perfect until you know what? Actually, I don't even think you ever get it perfect. There's always, you're growing, so your business is changing, so your website has to change, and then everything changes all of the time. So there's never that stability, like it's never going to be absolutely 100% perfect.
Right. No, I totally get that.
Yeah.
Now, I know you like teaching folks about email. What's the importance of email and having a list?
Well, one of the most important things that you can have in your business is your email list. Right? Like, it's an asset basically that you have. And if, like, a lot of people have got Facebook and they're building up their Facebook pages and they're building up their Facebook groups and all of those things. And that's really important, because that is getting the, building and nurturing that relationships as well on Facebook, or Instagram or something like that. But, if they shut you down, and I know of people who have been shut down on Facebook, I know people who've been shut down on Instagram. In fact, I don't know if you've heard of the Heal documentary. I don't know if you heard of that. It was a
Don't know
movie
that
and it
one.
was a whole thing. Anyway, they had an Instagram page or profile, and they had 220,000 people on that Instagram account. And I actually got sent an email from them saying, Instagram has shut us down. Can you please like our new Instagram account?
Wow.
So you don't have to be like, they're shut. It does happen. And sometimes you don't even really know why. And so the purpose is really to get people from those things like Facebook and Instagram and get them into your email list, because that's your list then. It's yours. And it doesn't matter even which software you use, or email program, because you can change. You can take it from one to another. There are simple ways to take things in and out, of different systems. So you just need to get people off those platforms so that you can actually then build. And the thing is too, like Facebook, as much as we all love Facebook, when you put a post out, sometimes people think, oh, that's okay. I put out a post and I've got X number of followers and they're all going to see it. It doesn't happen like that. It's a very limited number of people that actually see what you put out on your Facebook pages. So if you've got your email list, you're going to have a much higher conversion or a much higher, open rate. People are going to see it a lot more in an email, and they already love you. Otherwise, they wouldn't have signed up to your email list. so they're more likely to open it, you know, and access that information. So, yeah.
I like too how you kind of point out, like your email list is yours. It's an asset. Kind of tying it into the legal and tax side of the things. It's an asset in your business. I mean, I've had some folks recently who have, formed different businesses or acquired different businesses, and often part of the assets that are contributed or transferred or bought and sold in the business, among those assets is the email list. You know, it's listed, it's a valuable asset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any recommendations for how to get like all those likes and followers from Facebook onto your email list? Because you can't just do it without their permission. They have to opt in.
Have to opt in. Yeah, there's a few ways. I mean, obviously one of them is that you can have an opt-in something, a gift, you know, like everyone talks about free gifts, so people sign up to get their free gift that gets them onto the list. And you know, it has to, sometimes you have to say somewhere that, you know, by giving your email list, you actually agreeing to additional, you know, receiving additional correspondence or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, you can't just put people's names just like, oh, you know, like cold calling and just start adding people into your list. They have to give you permission.
Right.
Some of the other things
too, I even noticed with my email list, even when I manually add people who I know want to be in there because they've told me to, my email provider is like, wait, do you have these, like, are you sure? Are you really sure you have these people's permission, you know, to put in there? Because if I put them in there and it turns out I don't have their permission, they'll drop me like a hot potato.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. You can't just put people in, you know. I mean, the other thing is you could put them in with the proviso of emailing them and saying, like, knowing that they want to, but you could say, hey, you know, I got your email, you know, whatever. I put you in. If you don't want it, here, unsubscribe. Like, just get them to get out straight away, rather than, you know, like, you want to get them out. If they don't want to be there, you don't want to give them that opt-in, opt-out.
Rather than wait for complaints to happen.
Yeah. But you wouldn't just add people willy-nilly, you know, into your email lists. That you just like, yeah.
I've noticed that at summits. I mean, I speak out a lot of summits now, and at the summits, they're always pointing out, they're like, if you meet people on here, you can't just grab all these emails and add them to your list, you know, or like often there's a directory of the attendees or the speakers on the summit, and they really tell people, hey, you know, one strike and you're out. If you grab all the emails in that directory and just add them to your list, you're out. We're kicking you out, you know?
Yeah.
So
I know,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I know that I went to a few things when I used to work in the Australian government, and it was actually sort of said, you know, if you go somewhere and someone gives you their business card, then they're actually basically saying it's okay for you to contact me again. You could put them in your email list because they've given you their contact. But if you just meet somebody, and like you said, you can't just go and just take someone else's list and put it into yours. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, I think that is, you know, last time I consulted with someone who knows that part of the law, you know, she pointed out that if you have friends and family or business people you met through business networking events, you sort of get like a one chance. You can add them in. It's sort of presumed that people you know personally you can add in, but then you have to make sure that they get that real quick opportunity to unsubscribe if they don't want to be on there.
Yep. Yeah.
So what do you use as far as email program? I mean, and talking about how essential it is to our businesses. I can run my business without Facebook, no problem. If Facebook ended tomorrow, it probably wouldn't have that big of an effect on my business. I'm even moving, when it comes to my group discussion forums, I'm even moving that stuff over to other platforms now. But if my email list got shut down, at least the coaching side of my business would be finished. I'd have to start from scratch. So, I mean, what do you use as far as software?
It would be devastating, wouldn't it? It would be absolutely devastating to lose your email list, which is actually why I was just saying that, you know, it doesn't matter what email list you're using. My advice is make sure you back it up. Like there are tools, every single email system that you have will have an opportunity for you to export. Usually they say export is the word, but you can choose like something like they download or something. But my advice is on a regular basis, make sure that you are exporting your email list.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Everybody absolutely do that. Export your email list. And you usually can just do it into like a CSV file or a spreadsheet or something, right? And you can export the whole thing. In fact, I'm going to do that this evening while I'm thinking about it, because I haven't done it in months. And it's grown a lot over that time. And so if I don't do it back up right now and something happens to their software and it gets scrambled, I've lost a ton of folks who are really interested in working with me. So I'm literally going to do that tonight while I'm thinking about it. Thank you.
Yeah. So it will be a CSV file, and that's really the best file if you can do that to a CSV, because that's the one that you can upload again into another platform if you move, like to have. But if something happens, you may only lose a few of the new people that have come in rather than losing the whole lot, which is important.
Right. How often would you do it? I mean, once a week, once a month, or?
I think it depends really on how big how fast your list is growing. If you're just getting a couple of people, then maybe you do it once a month or something. But if you've just done an opt-in and you've just got 200 new people, say, then you want to be backing it up straight away.
Yeah, that's great advice. Thank you so much.
Yeah. But on your other question, the software platform that I actually use is Mailchimp. And I don't know how many, does anybody here use Mailchimp? Or, yeah? No? Susan does. Yeah, I love Mailchimp. And I have a lot of reasons why I love Mailchimp. Because one is, well, first of all, Mailchimp is primarily free. It was actually voted one of the top 10 email marketing providers by the PC magazine, and of which only 2 were free, and one was Mailchimp was that. It's really well known, so it actually integrates really well with lots of other applications. So when you're starting off, integration is key because you need to save time. There's so many things to do and so many platforms you need. So integration is key, right? So Mailchimp will allow you to do that, to integrate with a number of different things.
Can you expand a little bit on just, I don't want to assume that everybody understands the terms. Can you expand on what you mean by integrating with other platforms?
Oh, sure. Sorry. Okay. So if you just say you have a calendar booking system, so a calendar booking system that I recommend is like Calendly, and you can link your Mailchimp with Calendly. So if somebody books a discovery call or a strategy call, or they book into a session or whatever, then you can automatically have that person's details go into your email list. Right? So they'll just automatically happen, and they give you can also give them tags, and I'll talk about tags in a minute, but it automatically will go into the email list, and that is a paid feature of Calendly, but however, it's under a cup of coffee a week to do it. Like, it's seriously, and when I was finding that I'd get my Calendly details and they have to copy and paste them and put them in my email list, and I'm like, it's not worth it, the time, to do that. It integrates with websites, it integrates with so many things, because it is such a well-known, it's out there, a lot of people use it. It's one of the top providers out there at the moment. So, yeah.
And so then other things too, I have my courses on Kajabi, and I have those integrated with my email platform. So when somebody signs up for a webinar, they're automatically put on that email list for the webinar, as well as my general email list. And so it's all, I don't have to go around and copy crap in all the time, and it just happens.
Yeah, and that's what you want at the end of the day. That's what you want. You just want things to be automated and happen. And and Mailchimp can do a lot of that. It has so many great features on the free version. You can create lovely emails that you can send out. I'll just come back with the tags. So do you understand what the term tag means when it comes to an email list?
Yeah, go ahead and explain it. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically what happens is that you can subdivide the people in your list. So, if people are grouped together, so you've got this group of people and they bought product A, you can give them a tag of product A, and then if someone else went to this webinar, you can give them a tag of webinar. And if someone else did this, then you can, so you can give people these tags, so that if you then have a follow-on product from product A, you can actually just highlight, or just send that email to the people with the tag of product A, so that they then are going to get offered this product B. You know what I mean? So you can just target the people who are to get different offers, basically. But, and also I like it because you can look at the person and you can look at how many tags they've got, and you can tell, like, this person loves you because they've just got 30 tags, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it just helps you know what they've done and what they need to do. Yeah.
And then do the tags also help you with follow-ups, right? So if somebody gets the tag for this, for, you know, webinar number 1, then they can get a different set of follow-ups as opposed to the tag for product number 2, or, you know, whatever you're calling it.
Yes. Now that feature is in the paid version, like the actual automation. So in the free version, you get one automation.
Okay.
So what that meant, so you can, people typically will use that as a welcome email. So when people land into your page, it will go, you know, welcome, I'm so happy that you've joined my community. This is what I do. This is what I will be offering for you. You know, please whitelist me so that I don't end up in spam, you know, all that sort of stuff, that welcome email. Whereas, but you can have one active one. So you can turn them on and off. So you could offer a webinar, turn off the welcome email, turn on a webinar automated email, and then, you know, run that one. And then, you know, you can get away with it. But just, it's a bit manual, but it's possible. You know.
Right. Okay.
But, yeah. But it also does, you know, things like landing pages.
On the free version, you can do landing pages?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, you can do free versions on the landing page, and automatically give people tags, which you can then have the email automatically sent out with the links to the webinar, say, you know, whatever, based upon that tag. And that's all part of the free version. You can do surveys. There's also a website option. You can create a very simple website with multiple pages, and that's all free as well. Susan, you need to unmute yourself.
Hi, yeah, thanks. I love this. You're talking about Mailchimp because I love Mailchimp, but I'm like having my struggles with. So I wonder if you can tell me, it looks to me like when I set up a new onboarding automation, it forces me to have a specific audience for that. It won't do it according to tags. Is this too detailed a question to ask in this seminar? If it is, I understand, but curious.
No, so when you do an automation, it's based on the audience or the list. So it depends. So you have to choose the list first and then the tag. You know, the tag belongs to the list.
Right. So I'm at the first stage of paid version of Mailchimp because I ran out of audiences.
Okay.
I had, let's see. So I have what, 3 or 4 audiences now. So it's kind of like I have to get rid of one before I can, which I should be able to tag that audience, like take the, create it, get the automation going, get an onboarding sequence automation going, and then segment that audience and add it into my main group, right? I just haven't figured out how to do that. And I mean, obviously I should ask them their tech support, but is that what you do? Because I try to keep everybody in the main audience and then just work with them with tags, because otherwise it gets really
very different. Yeah.
You have that many audiences.
But I'll often, like if I do a webinar, for example, I will create a new list for the webinar. And then once the webinar's done, I'll move them over into the main list with the webinar tag, you know, so that.
You do that. That works. Yeah. How do you do that? Is it, I get mixed up when it asks if I want to do it as a CSV import.
Oh no, just a copy. You just copy from one, you just go to check the people and go copy to the next list.
I haven't figured out how to do that.
Have a look under, where am I? It's under manage audiences when you've got the list and you're seeing the list. It's one of the features. Okay. It's an option that you have.
Great. And I'm integrating it with Acuity for my scheduling.
That's a good point about the list for different webinars too. So I mean, whenever I run a set of free webinars, so I'm now scheduling free webinars for the end of February to promote my critical thinking course, and I'll do like 6 live webinars because I love to teach them live personally, you know, and I'll create 6 new lists. I use Aweber I never tried Mailchimp. I don't know. I just got started on Aweber because I got a coupon from a friend who recommended it. And now it's like, once you learn one program, I don't want to have to learn another one. But I think if I had started over, I might try Mailchimp. But but I'll create like 6 lists, one for each webinar. And so then when on their landing page, when they sign up, they go into the list for that webinar so that they're not getting the reminders for all the webinars, just the one they signed up for. But then it also has me do an automation where if they go into that webinar list, they also go into my general mailing list as well. So then it, it adds everybody in there at the same time.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Susan. We have a question.
That's great.
Christina, is it okay we're taking questions, Angie?
Sure. Let me just see.
So Christina, in regards to email providers, she's looking into HIPAA compliant companies like Biscom and Hushmail. I know in Australia, I don't know if you call it HIPAA, but you have something similar. It's it's our health confidentiality regulations on, so if you're collecting people's health information electronically, there's certain security provisions and everything to maintain everybody's health privacy. And I know Christina does some health coaching. She has a medical background.
Do you know? I don't know. Even though like I work in the wellness industry, I've got a number of clients in the wellness industry. But yeah, I've never, I don't know what they do.
So yeah, Christina, I would just say make sure with those, if they say they're HIPAA compliant, they probably are. And then you may have to, one way to tell if they're HIPAA compliant is if they have you sign a business associate agreement. So if that email company signs a business associate agreement with you, where they promise to keep everybody's information safe, that's part of the HIPAA compliance. If they will not sign that business associate agreement, then they're not HIPAA compliant for sure. If they will sign it, then they probably are HIPAA compliant because that's one of the main things they have to do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. Great to see you.
Bye, Paula. Thank you.
See you next time. And so, I mean, like Mailchimp sounds like it's pretty cost effective. I mean, it sounds like this free version, you can actually do a fair amount of stuff to get started.
Oh, you can. Yeah. And you can also do surveys. That's another thing. I found the surveys really, really easy. I've tried to use some other survey products and found them really tricky, it's just like, how do you do this? Where do you start? It's really simple. It's really, really easy. And you can add graphics and all that sort of stuff and make it look nice. So,
wow,
yeah.
That's a pretty cool feature in a free version. I used to have a survey program where I could do surveys and quizzes, and it can get really beautiful and complex on the whole thing, but it costs $50 a month. And I just didn't want to pay the $50 a month anymore, quite frankly.
No. And, how often do you do a survey? I use I use them as feedback forms, for from my program, I'll do a survey at the end, which is like the feedback form, what they thought. And I use them in the beginning, for a welcome form to find out where people are up to with their technology. So I'll have the onboarding quiz, and the feedback at the end. So I use them for that. Yeah. So, and you don't have, like I was saying before, you don't have to have all this fancy stuff. I mean, I've run my 6-week program a number of times, and when I started off, let me tell you, I ran it through Mailchimp, and that was what I did. I didn't have any fancy software that had all the different, all the different videos and all that on. I just ran it, and I had it like an automated sequence that said, here's the welcome, here's the welcome quiz, welcome email, welcome quiz. We're going to start on Monday. Monday sends out the videos and the tech notes for the call for week 1. Here's a reminder for the coaching. Here's, here's week 2, coaching reminder, replay, and all automated. So I didn't do anything. All I would do is just change a couple of dates every time I ran it, and it would just go.
So you ran the entire course through Mailchimp. You didn't need another platform. It actually sent out the videos and everything.
Yep. Susan,
yeah.
Okay, so where did you store your videos for that? Because you can only upload 10 megabytes worth in Mailchimp.
Yeah, they were on
I
YouTube.
store mine in Dropbox, so.
Yeah, they have to be in, for Mailchimp to send a video out, it has to be either YouTube or Vimeo. So
Okay,
yeah,
that's good.
yeah, I tended to use YouTube, and I think, starting off, you don't have to have the big expensive platforms. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can do it, and you know what? What I found too is it lets other people know that you don't have to have expensive stuff. I can run my program through Mailchimp, so I can teach you to run your Mailchimp program through Mailchimp, and you don't have to have that expensive course software platform that costs you hundreds of dollars a month or whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you do it with YouTube? Do you just upload it as like a private video, so it just has a private link on it, and then the link goes into the emails that go out?
Yeah, unlisted it is. An unlisted link.
That's right, unlisted, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So you just upload it as an unlisted link, and then you just add that link into the email, and yeah, away you go. So it does mean you have to have the you have to have a paid version of Mailchimp, because obviously you have to have the automations. And really that's probably the main feature. There's a couple of other benefits of having a paid version, in that you can pre-schedule things too. You can send emails and pre-schedule the times. I mean, you can in automation anyway, but just in an ordinary everyday email, you can just send an email and say, send this on Monday at 7 o'clock or whatever, with the paid version. But the other one is the automations. That's really the main key. And honestly, it's like it's $14.99 a month US for the paid version. That's at the lower, as you get more clients and your list grows, then you have to pay a bit more, like obviously. But to start off, I'd recommend that you get the paid version and get those automations happening,
Right. So, I mean, it's definitely very affordable.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I think I said to you, like, everything I teach is free. And there's a couple of reasons for that too. One is because, like, if you start adding all those components up, it can become really expensive if you've got lots of paid. But if you use a provider of something, just say you're using Mailchimp and you go, okay, well, whatever, I really love feature A, B, C, and D, but I don't really like feature E. When you are ready to change to a different product, you know what you like and you know what you don't like. Whereas rather than starting off with something that's going to be hundreds of dollars, like $100 a month, which is not uncommon, and then you find out that you absolutely hate it and you're stuck in this contract for 12 months because that's what you signed up for or whatever, So it's about know what you like first, and then you can upgrade when you've got that knowledge. Yeah.
That totally makes sense. So, I mean, talk about how you teach. You have a program on all this, right? To teach everybody how to do all this?
I do. I actually I've just a new program I've created called Mastering Mailchimp. So, and yeah, it's actually not in Mailchimp now. Like, it's actually it is actually in a course like a
right.
a platform for courses, and I really love it. I just think that it's, because like I said before, my dream is to support everybody else to get out there. I'm like this little, like the tech angel, I'm the supporter. My angel wings are behind you all, like nurturing you and guiding and loving everybody to get out there.
I
that's
love
my
that.
thing. So
I love that.
But yeah, so basically I have the program. It's 5 modules. Well, there's actually 6, because the first one is actually how to create a Mailchimp account. So it's not part of the modules, but that's there for those people who've not started. And then I've got 5 modules. So the first one is all about the list. So it's about the list and about tags and how you can, find people and edit them and, all that sort of thing, working with the list. The second, and all these are broken up, by the way, into very small videos, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes max. So that if you go, how do you work with tags? You can go to that module and go, tags video. You don't have to sit through a 2-hour video to work out whereabouts they spoke about tags. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's module 1. Module 2 is all about just creating the email itself. So how do you add a video? How do you add a picture? How do you add a hyperlink? How do you, all that stuff? So that's module 2. Module 3 is all about automation. So it's actually creating that automated email and the onboarding sequence. Module 4 is all about landing pages. So creating landing pages and little opt-in pages. Yeah. And then module 5 is all about surveys and sign-up forms, because you can create sign-up forms which you can have, for example, on Facebook. So people can actually sign up as it becomes a tab on Facebook that people can join your email list.
Right.
So that's all part of the last module. So yeah, so it's very exciting. It's just, and the other thing I do, because I just love supporting people, I've actually have a Facebook group as well. So when you join the program, you can join the Facebook group. And that way, if you have a question, you just come into the group and just pop the question in, and then I come in personally and I'll answer the questions, whether it be done by video, whether it be a screenshot to go, this is what you need here, like whether it just be some text, but I'll come in and actually support you, because, I mean, as you said before, Ian, like my passion is to remove the overwhelm and the stress of technology. And I know people have it. I mean, I do too. Sometimes, when you get a new program or something and you're learning it, it can be daunting. And so my passion is to remove that, so that you can then move on and spend more time doing what you love, rather than spending time trying to figure out how to do this thing, you know what I mean? So yeah. So
that's awesome. And the modules in the program itself, I mean, do they have lots of screenshots and everything so they can see exactly what everything looks like?
The program itself is all video.
Oh, okay, there you go.
It's video with me screen sharing. So I'm actually doing it. Like, how you can see, you would have seen videos or like with Zoom links, where you have the screen and then you have the person in the top corner.
Yeah.
Well, it's done like that. I'm in the top corner talking, and I'm actually showing you, this is what you need to do. Click here, click that, do this. But I've been teaching technology for a long time. So my plan is to, like, I make it easy for you to understand, rather than I don't do techno speak, if you know what I mean. Like, it's everyday simple speak that you'll be able to, that you can understand and follow through. So follow on. Yeah. So.
And is this program, is your Mailchimp program, is it like launching at a particular date, or is this something they can join anytime?
They can join at any time. So it's, yeah. So awesome. That way, just So
awesome.
Yeah, very exciting.
So I will drop a link in the chat if you guys want to check out Angie's program, and then I'll also send out the link with the recording as well. I've seen Angie's work, I've seen her teach, and I've just seen her I've seen her take people who are freaking out about the technology, and then they just sort of like, oh, okay, like they relax. I can do this now. It's not that bad. It takes the right instructor, and it takes an instructor who really cares, who really cares about your mission and your clients and accomplishing the work you want to do in the world too. And to me, that has always come across with Angie, and it's why, it's why she and I partner up, and why we love each other.
Exactly. Because that's exactly, we're like twins in that way,
Yeah.
We both just love to help other people, and
yeah, and I love how you put it. You realize your passion is not just, it's not IT per se. Your passion is people, and IT happens to be the subject matter. And that, like you say, that's like with me. The law and taxes happens to be the subject matter, but my real passion is people.
Yeah. Yes.
Very cool. Exactly. You guys have any other questions for Angie?
There's two things in the chat. Let's see. I don't know. That's okay. That's fine. It's all good.
It's all good. Okay. Terry.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
So my question is, and I actually have the free form of Mailchimp. I've got my basic email set up there, but I haven't done anything with it. I haven't built my list. I have a list like on an Excel program. It's very small. But I had heard someone else mention that if you're going to do something like this, that Convertkit is really preferred over Mailchimp when your list gets to be a certain size. Do you agree with that? Or do you think Mailchimp can be just as effective as Convertkit?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of out there about the two, like the two of them. I haven't really, I've looked at ConvertKit as well. It has similar features and all that sort of thing. Yeah, I think it's just really comes down to what you like at the end.
And I don't think they have a free version.
They don't.
Okay.
And that's the thing that, Mailchimp, just starting off with the free version, I think it's a really, for what you get, honestly, it's worth every cent. Well, there's no cent. Like it's worth every bit of it to start off. And then you'll know, when you get to that size where you go, okay, well, you know what, I need to now upgrade, because, I'll be honest, like when you get to a certain size, Mailchimp may not do everything you want it to do. When you get to that really, and that's when, but when you get to that point, you're going to have more money coming in. You'll be able to afford to get whatever it is that you want. Whereas, yeah, that's my rationale. So
thank you. Great.
My pleasure. Susan.
Yeah, so as you can tell, I'm already sort of in the thick of it with Mailchimp. So part of this, what you've said, I feel pretty comfortable with, and part of it is just like, oh man, I could really use help with that. Like, for instance, making beautiful emails, right? I mean, I've been running my course through Mailchimp. I just give them a link to Dropbox. I have my videos in Dropbox, and they're replays of the live sessions that we do. So that's how that works. But for regular nurturing emails that I'm doing to my list, I always want to have a really nice picture on there. And I like, so I'm downloading them from Deposit Photos or wherever. And sometimes they're these massive things. And I'm like trying to figure out how to work with images. Is that something that you help with?
It's in the program as well. There's actually an option with the size. And the other thing too is you can, if you use Canva, I don't know if people use Canva to create graphics, but that's another thing too, that it's actually integrated with Mailchimp. So you can actually just say, send this image straight into the content studio of Mailchimp. So you don't have to go up and down, inputting, exporting. But there is an option in Mailchimp under the photo. When you import it, you can actually resize photos, and you can also change the size of display size as well. There's two ways you can resize it. Yeah, it's in the program how to do that.
In the program. Yeah. I'm seriously thinking about getting the program. I'm trying to figure out whether it's in the stuff that I need is in there that I don't already know. And I don't know much, but I have been kind of just stumbling along little by little. I've tried to use Canva, but I don't know. I mean, I know that a lot of people love it and they think it's really intuitive. I spend a lot of time struggling with it.
With Canva, you mean?
Yeah. That's in my other program.
Oh, you have that too? What else have you got up your sleeve?
Oh, yeah. Facebook, Instagram, Calendly.
Yeah, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, my program is the Mailchimp program is extremely affordable. And I did that deliberately so that it will help people.
I just peeked on the link that Ian.
You did? Yeah. See, it's extremely affordable, hey?
Yeah. Yes, very much. That's a couple of months worth of Mailchimp right there. So that makes it. I'm paying the $14.99 a month.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out whether it's got the things that I need. And seems like it does.
Well, just that you could email me. You could pop it in the comments when below. Or I could, if you want to have a list and tell me what you need, I can actually tell you whether it's there or not.
Yeah, maybe what I'll do. I'm so glad that I happened into this. I just saw Ian's email in my mail. That's why I was late. I just saw it in my email and I went, oh my God, that sounds like something I need. So that's what I'm here.
See, divine intervention.
Yes, exactly. So I wasn't really prepared, but how about if I get your email and I'll make a list of what my concerns are, and you can kind of
Yep, I'll put my email in
Yeah,
the
would you put it in the
chat.
chat if you don't mind.
That'd be great. So this is an evergreen thing because it's recordings and so people can just start anytime.
Yes.
Wonderful. So I could binge watch.
Yeah,
Yes, you can. Yeah,
it
it's
can
all
be
there.
your next COVID binge watching routine.
See, better than Netflix, hey?
I know, right?
That's interesting you put it that way, because like pre-COVID, I used to find people with my programs, like they tended to kind of, I give people access to all the videos up front, even on the programs that have a live Q&A portion. And pre-COVID, they would kind of watch the videos each week. And since COVID, I go in there and I notice as soon as I give them access, a lot of the people, they're right through all the videos before the first Q&A call,
Wow, that's great. That's really good, actually. Then they've got more they can probably ask questions that they may not have asked in the beginning as they've
They
gone
do,
through.
because they kind of have a bigger picture. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So I popped it in the chat. Did you get it, Susan?
Yes, I did. Thank you very much.
Cool.
I put it in my notes.
Perfect. Yeah, so
Very
just let me know
cool.
whatever it is that you have any questions. Terry, same if you have any questions, just email me and I'm happy to let you know what's in the program, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and Angie, like she said, she's got programs on all kind of different things. And I love that, a lot of evergreen programs anymore, you don't get access to a Facebook group. With Angie's you do, so that you can keep popping there and asking questions. I like that because I think you need the support.
Yes.
That's what I try to do with my legal programs. I don't like to leave you hanging or just let you sink or swim. I want to jump in there with you and hold your hand. And that's why I noticed that she's not just going to throw you in there either. She's going to jump right in and hold your hand.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I wouldn't promote anyone who didn't do otherwise, quite frankly.
Yeah. I agree. It's important to help other people, to not let them sit there and struggle,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other questions for Angie, or we're good? Cool. Well, thank you so much. Thank you guys for showing up, and thank you to those of you watching on the recording. So again, on the follow-up with the recording, we'll have the link if you want to check out Angie's program as well. Angie, I love you. I think you're the best. It's always great to see you. Thank you so much for taking some time to talk to my tribe.
Oh, Ian, thank you so much for organising it and for having me. And it's been lovely meeting you. So yeah, it's been a pleasure meeting you both. So, and the other two that I can't see, Kevin and Christina. So it's been a pleasure. And yeah.
Very cool.
Take care.
Take care. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.